Good morning, everyone. Well, it's nearly 9 o'clock, the time of my appointment, and as you can see, I'm not sat in the waiting room. I'm still in my bedroom with my pussycat. Yeah, I've had a bit of a panic attack this morning. It happens. It's not the first time, and I'm sure it won't be the last. And had to reschedule the appointment. There's been a bit of a build up for this one, with triggers. I'm not saying that anybody else that I've been talking to, has been a trigger for me. Nobody on YouTube, well, maybe except for my ex, but yeah, nobody that I've been talking to that's been leaving comments or anything like that. None of you have been the triggers that have been around me personally. So please don't think that it's you that's been doing it with all your comments. Your own experiences. No, that it does trigger me a little bit, but not as much as if like you was friend or family. I don't know you. You're complete strangers. So it's although I do feel what you've gone through, I can sort of separate myself a bit better. I'm not that emotionally attached, because you're a stranger. There is that bit of leeway in between. But if it's somebody that's close to me, like an ex-partner, friend, family, then yeah, I will get triggered. But it's not just like my ex getting in contact again. It's all to do with Father's Day as well. That's been a bit of a trigger. Just the appointments in general, because I'm not quite sure where to go, where the women's hospital is in Liverpool, because I don't live in Liverpool. So it's all a bit of a bit of a build up, because I don't know what the appointment's for gynecology, because I didn't think I had to have one. I thought it was just going to have the HRT appointment, just to check, and now they want to delve down below, and that in itself, for somebody that's been abused, is a bit of a it's one of those appointments that you don't really want to go to. It's the same as a smear test. I suppose if it was like my cancer appointment, I had to go to those. My brain told me I had to go to those, and it didn't matter what was wrong. I had to go to those. I had to go to every appointment. But today my brain's gone, nope, I don't want to do that. I've managed to phone up and cancel the appointment, which is good, because I've not always been able to do that, I've not always been able to pick up the phone and call and make a different appointment, or just cancel the appointment. So, I've been left to my own devices up until I feel better again, to make appointments again, to rearrange things, but that's the problem. I might not be better for 6 months before I can make another appointment, so I think this is probably why my cancer got missed in the first place. I do remember trying to talk to a doctor about it, and it was a male doctor, and when I said that I had problems down there, he was in a bit of a flap, or you'll have to see a nurse, a female doctor or a nurse. So, that was my chance to get everything out at that point, because I felt that I could at the time. That's why I made the appointment, to go and see the doctor, and then they're turning around and saying, well, you need to go and see somebody else. So it's sort of like, but I can redo it today. Can we do it today? And it was like, no, we can't do it today. You'll have to see a female. So, and then I didn't go back for another appointment. I left it for years, but that's what happens with my mental health. And it was years before I felt well enough to be able to go to the doctor just mentally. I know it sounds daft, but that's what mental health does, you know, mental illness. Sorry, mental health. That's what mental illness does, you know. It makes you do things that you could normally do, you know. It stops you doing things that you can normally do. There's a time where, you know, it wouldn't matter what appointment it was, who I was seeing or anything like that, but the more that you're trapped in your head, the more that you've got sort of like the abuse going on around you, the more, or not just the abuse, but triggers. I was just thinking then, yeah, I can't just say the abuse, because it's not just the abuse. You don't have to be around abuse. It could be just the triggers that you're around. A house, you know, a house with bad memories, you know, even that can be a trigger. All these daft little things. Yeah, so it's not just abuse that I was around. It was the place that I was living in, you know, the memories, waking up into a house of memories that I didn't like, going outside and having family and an ex-boyfriend living on the same street. That was a trigger. Even just the memory after they moved out was a trigger, you know. And it's difficult because some days I'm fine and some days I'm not. It can be hard to try and explain to somebody why I can't do this on this day. I mean, people that do this will know exactly what I'm going on about. You know, it'd be like, oh, well, yeah. I feel like that. But yeah, oh, something just fallen on the front. I don't know what that was. Sorry. Just got a quick shot of my face in the phone by the looks of things. Sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, there will be people that are watching that will go, yeah, that's what I do, and you'll be laughing along as well. Well, I hope you'd be laughing along like I do. I feel a right dick, but, you know, it's part of it. I've got to laugh at it. Unfortunately, it puts my life on hold when I'm like this, but, you know, I gotta laugh it off. Or else I'll just go to bits. You know, people, I used to do it myself, you know, I used to get so frustrated. I used to get angry at myself that I couldn't do this, that and the other. But that's before I realised about mental illness, you know. This is part, excuse me, this is part of it. This is what happens. One day you can feel on top of the world and the next day you can feel rock bottom. One day you can go out your front door, the next day you can't even pick up the phone to call for help, you know. It's a head fuck. There's no other way to put it. And I know there'll be a lot out there that agree. But don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. This is what happens. This is part of being abused. This is how your head copes with it, you know. This is how your head copes with triggers. And don't be ashamed, you know. It's doing the job of your brain's doing the job of the environment it's been in. You know, it's not its fault. It's not your fault. It's the input that it's had, you know. You can't blame yourself for that. Nobody can blame themselves for what other people have done to them, you know. I know that you will do. I did, you know, very much so. I know a lot of people do. And this is where the conditioning into thinking that you're a bad person comes from, and things like that, you know, and that you're not worthy of help or love or anything like that. And you are, very much so. Everybody is. No matter who you are, you're all worthy of love, especially self-love, you know. But no, I never had that. When I found out I had a mental illness, I felt ashamed, you know. I felt that I'd done something wrong, you know, and it took me years to figure out it wasn't me. Years and years. But I had to go through my own learning. You know, I had to trawl through the internet to find out what the fuck was wrong with me and why. And once you connect the dots, it's a relief, you know. You can actually, well, for me, it put my head to rest, very much so, very much so. It was nice to have that relief that there was reason behind my madness, you know, and it wasn't due to me. You know, I was basically doing the actions of a mentally abused person, of a physically abused person. I was doing the actions of somebody that had been manipulated and coerced. When you spot these, when you know what to look out for, you know, you can see it in people. You can see who's being coerced and who are the coerced, doing the coercing. I don't know if that's right. Coercers, do the coercing. Perpetrators. Yes. And it's until then you don't know what's going on. So never feel ashamed for having a mental illness. There are reasons behind it all. It's the same with behavioural issues. There's always a reason, you know. Sometimes it's a mental problem, sometimes it's a physical problem, you know. Sometimes it's that somebody's abused somebody so much that their brain just doesn't function properly anymore. It's shut down completely. I mean, people that have gone through this with abuse and mental illness and stuff like that, they will understand, and you'll recognise certain things that I'm saying, and you'll be going, oh yeah. It's quite strange, but I do hope that I am helping, even just with my own little quirky sort of, oopsie, I've not gone to my appointment today because I've had a panic attack little video. Yeah, but I do feel fine now, you know. It's just a build up. It's all the panic and flap and something, I don't know. It's not that I felt something bad was going to happen. I really don't know what it was this morning, actually, because it's actually the first appointment that I backed out for a while. I've been going to all my appointments, just to, you know, just the cancer and everything. But yeah, these last few days and today, it's just been, I mean, the only different thing I can think of is Father's Day, being a big one this year. Obviously, it's my first one without my dad because he passed away. And then there's my ex contacting me. Those are the two major events that's happened. Mixture of both, maybe. I don't know. This is how I get affected, you know. I've got to figure out what's been going on in my life to match the way I feel. You know, I have to. This is what I've had to do. Put two and two together and come up with four, instead of wondering what two goes with, you know. Is it 2, is it 6, is it 8, is it 9? Times, minus, plus, what, you know. This is how you have to, when you get triggered by people and experiences, you have to figure out what it is that's triggering you, to be able to cope. Because in the past, you know, I would have gone to bits, and then it would have been a knock-on effect because I would have felt guilty for not going to the appointment, feeling ashamed that, you know, I should have done this, I should have done that, and it's just a downward spiral into thoughts of shame and feeling bad about myself, you know. But no, I don't do that anymore, you know. Even if I hadn't have phoned up this morning, which, you know, 9 times out of 10 I wouldn't have done in the past. So yeah, I have moved forward a little bit. Like, you know, I did actually phone up and tell them, sorry, I'm not feeling very well. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to explain to these people, you know, I'm not feeling mentally stable, sorry, I can't come in. You know, I mean, you can do, you know, maybe being honest and open like that. People will realise a bit more. I mean, I'm not shy about telling people about my mental health issues and things like that. You know, people need to understand. And this is why I'm doing this little video. But I don't know if I'm waffling on a bit or not. And I do hope people understand what I'm going on about. Yeah, it's a very strange world to live in. One day you're fine and the next day you're not. It could be the simplest as somebody from your past coming back into your life, you know, even in the tiniest of aspects, you know. I mean, Paul, if you are watching this, you know, I read your comment and you said it was just a simple hello. But even that, a simple hello, just your name popping up on my screen, you know, it's a trigger. And this is how it affects me, you know. It disrupts my life. It disrupts my life on a big scale, you know. I mean, what if this was something important to do with the cancer? And I don't know, you know, I'm not saying that it was. I have no idea what this gynecological examination is for, you know. I don't know if it was just a talk or if it was an examination. It doesn't say on the letter. But this is all the things that I've been flapping about as well, like, you know. So that on top of my dad not being here for Father's Day, not being able to talk to him for Father's Day, on top of my ex, or, you know, on top of the appointments, on top of this, on top of that, this is what goes on. And this is where I need to chill and go out on my walks and have my meditation music going and sound frequencies to bring that panic back down. Because that's it. It just goes off onto something else, onto something else, onto something else, onto something else. You got your spiraling thoughts and panic, 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 hot sweats and feeling sick and oh, I can't do this, shakes and all the panic attack things, you know. All the stuff Amber Heard will never do, you know. Oh God, yeah. Anyway, now I've calmed down. I've made this video. I'm going to make myself a brew. It's nice and sunny outside, so I shall maybe get up and put some nice chill music on. I think it's a bit early to put banging tunes on for my neighbours. I don't think they'd appreciate me banging around with my rave tunes, having a bit of a dance to cheer myself up. But that's what I have to do as well sometimes. Turn the volume up and just dance around the flat and just make myself feel happy. But I don't feel too bad now. Yeah, I'm not flapping. So yeah, there's a little a little snippet into my own sort of relapses. Yeah, because I'm certainly not healed. I have healed to a certain extent, but yeah, as you can see, I have my own my own triggers and my own sort of flappy days. But I can tell you, it's a hell of a lot better than it was. I'd rather be like this now than what I was even 3 years ago, even 2 years ago. Definitely. I'm in so much better place. You know, normally, let's say about 3 years ago, before I moved here, in the state that I was mentally, if I'd have gone through Father's Day and my ex contacting me, those bottles of wine that I got Father's Day, I would have drank both of them to myself. Whatever drugs on top, and I probably would have had a bit of a, I don't know, a meltdown. I'll call it a meltdown, because it is. You just go to bits. I on past experience, I would have tried to go and sleep with somebody, just to have a bit of or feel a bit of love from somebody else, or I may have just completely lost the plot, tried to harm myself, and ended up either in being locked up by the police or in a hospital somewhere, you know. It might have even stretched to, because I have painkillers in the flat at the moment, it might have even stretched to me actually taking what tablets I have in the flat, you know. So I can safely say that I have moved on, very much so. I have healed a lot in the process of these last few years. So I am grateful for that, very much so, you know. Yeah, I could have played this out a hell of a lot different than what I have done. So yes, I take every win. Woohoo! Yeah, you know, looking back, I've definitely handled it a lot better than what I have done in the past, and I'm proud of myself for that. Pat myself on the back. Well done, Kaz. But you have to celebrate these little ones. You have to sit back and you have to realise, oh my God, I've done this today and I couldn't do that the other, you know, or I've handled this completely different to how I used to. Recognising your little, even the smallest milestones moving forward. Give yourself a little treat, you know, like you're treating, you know, a little kid that's just passed its first test or something like that. Oh, well done, yeah, you've just learnt this, well done, you know. Give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a treat, give yourself brain a bit of stimulation, happy stimulation, reward, happy reward, you know, whatever it is, it's sweets, I don't know, I don't care, whatever makes you happy, within reason, obviously. Just whenever you sort of like have these little realizations of moving forward, you have to give yourself a little reward, because then your brain goes, oh, I like this, and it's easier to remember, and it drops a bad habit quite quickly, because obviously instead of feeling shit about things, it would rather feel happy about things, because your brain loves happiness, it really does, it thrives off it, believe me. So yeah, you start feeling better and it learns quickly. But yeah, just like you'd give your friend encouragement, or you give your child encouragement, give yourself the same encouragement, give your inner child the same encouragement. You know, Kaz has handled this brilliant today, so I might even take her out into the park. We might not go on the swings, you know, because I might get looked at, but maybe we can go for a walk in the park and feed the squirrels, you know. It'd be something happy that we can all do. I don't know if I sound like a complete lunatic, or if I'm actually making sense to people. I hope I am making sense to people. I make sense to myself, and I think that really does matter. As long as I do, and it's making me better, you know, well, not always better, but it's helping me cope. I hope you understand what I'm going on about, but yeah. I think I can go and make myself a nice brew now, and just chill out the rest of the day, panic over, and carry on, and see what tomorrow brings, you know. Tomorrow might be a completely different day now, because all that's over and I've talked about it. Got it off my chest, because even that sometimes, you know, not being able to talk about it, talk about how you're feeling, can be a problem, you know. Build up of everything, even if you write it down to yourself, you know, or even do yourself a little video like this, talking to yourself, you know, give yourself a good talking to, and then delete it, you know. Yeah. Oh. So anyway, the cat's jumped off me. It's time for me to go and make a brew. So thank you very much for watching. Love everybody. You're all brilliant. Love to you all. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.